morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another review video on the Chalkola 32 Colors acrylic paint. The company had reached out to me and asked me if I would try the product and do a review, and I was more than happy to give it a try. I had not heard of the product before they reached out to me. So the other day, when I received the product, I did a controlled swipe video, and in that video I mixed the paint with GAC 800 and Floetrol, and I really liked the pigments in the paint and how it dried. Today I'm going to try a ring pour, and I'm going to mix it with just Floetrol, and then with my leftover paint I'm going to add some OGX silicone to those colors, and then we're going to do a swipe and see how much selling action we get. So stay tuned. Okay, I have all my paints mixed, and I am using vermilion red, lemon yellow, Prussian blue, cobalt blue, violet, and titanium white. Now, the viscosity of these paints was a little bit different for the different colors. The red and the yellow and the blue, the cobalt blue, was just a bit thicker of a viscosity, because when I mixed it with the same amount of Floetrol, each one of these cups had the same amount of Floetrol and the same amount of paint, but some of them were a bit thicker. These three were thicker, and I had to add, I added a little bit of water to each one, just a few drops, but the violet has a much thinner consistency, and so does the Prussian blue. And as you can see, the cobalt blue now seems to have the right consistency with a few more drops of water. And it's just drizzling off my spoon. But I did have to add just a little bit more water to these three, and I'm talking just a drop or two, to get the same consistency, so that hopefully my rings will be the same and stay together. So I'm going to get my canvas ready and start layering my cup, and we'll do a ring pour. For the ring pour, it did not hold together as well. There was no silicone in the paint. The paint was a good thick consistency to keep my rings together, but it kind of muddied up and blended together. The colors didn't hold their own as well as I was hoping. So that was my result with the ring pour. So maybe not the best paint for a ring pour. I still want to try another experiment, and that will be I'm going to add a little bit of silicone now to each of these cups, just a drop, and gently stir it in, and then I'm going to do a swipe, and we'll see what we get with that. I'm going to leave the silicone out of the white and use that as my swipe color, and I'll add just a drop to each of these colors here, and we'll see how this paint works for a swipe. So be back in a minute. Okay, I have my silicone added to my cups. Okay, for a swipe with silicone in it, it worked very nicely. So I might try another ring pour, see if my paint needs to be even thicker. I'm not really sure, but this worked out nicely, and I'll come back with a dried result or later today when they're almost dry and try to finish up this video, but so you can see actually how much it changes and what the pigments look like dry. My cobalt blue seemed to get a little lost in there with that vermilion red. I'm wondering if some of that might come back to the surface as it sits and dries. You can see that it's kind of trapped underneath there. But yeah, it worked really nicely for a swipe with silicone in it. So I'll be back with the dry result. We'll see. So here's the painting dry. This was the ring pour. I'll show you close up. So that was the result of this painting dry. It's a little bit humid here in Missouri. We've had a lot of rain, and this painting actually took like 48 hours to dry, which I was surprised because it didn't have a lot of paint left on the surface after I had tilted. But I'll go get the other one now and show you what happened with the swipe. And this is the result of the swipe with the silicone added to the paint. This one took a long time to dry as well. And you can see that the silicone actually did rise to the surface, as you can see that on the canvas. And it, more so than any of the other swipes I've done before that have had silicone in them. So with this paint mixture, you can see it really separated and rose to the top surface. So that needs to be cleaned off. And also my surface wasn't level, so when I left, I had a lot more yellow up here at the top, and as it settled, it all ran up into the right hand corner. So when I came home from work and took a look at it, I was a little bummed out, but I still like the painting overall. I like the separation of the cells. So yeah, that was my result with the Chalkola paint experience. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Check the description box down below because I will have a link to Chalkola, and you get 10% off that whole 32 color set, which is a great deal because right now it's only $24.99 to begin with. And I'll see you on my next video. Take care.